listeners listening to 18 Minutes with Satyal and Silwal. I'm Satyal.
And I'm Silwal, and we are a weekly podcast from the Himalayas.
When it's a Tuesday and it's 7:30, you know it's time for perspectives, conversations, and stories.
79 episodes in, and we always talk about having a conversation and starting new conversations. And we have an interesting one because Satyal and I both know how difficult it is to find straight people to date, right? Satyal especially. And we were just wondering how difficult must it be for someone with a different orientation, especially looking towards girls and having attraction towards girls, being a girl. So we wanted to bring in someone who has that orientation and just start that conversation, because it's not necessarily a conversation that happens over tea talks. And that's why we have our guest Buddy. So for privacy reasons, we're not using her name, and we're going to say Buddy for the next 18 minutes.
Right. Buddy, welcome to 18 Minutes Podcast.
Thank you so much.
The first question we have for you is, how did you find out that you're not attracted to amazing straight people like Satyal and Silwal? And
Satyal was devastated. He was hitting on you for months and months.
No, he's just joking.
What happens is, first of all, I didn't know I was a lesbian. And what happened is, I was in denial for like few years. I was thinking that it was just a phase, but later I came to know that I was really attracted to girls, but I was still not sure if I was attracted to guys. So I did date a guy for over a few months, but it did not really work out. So त्यो भएपछि चाहिँ I was sure that I was just into girls and not into guys at all.
मलाई कस्तो sad लागिरहेछ त्यो केटामाथि. Like, he dates a girl and then she turns into a lesbian.
By the way, he has no idea that I'm...
Okay. But if he found out, ego boost, it's like ego reverse.
But this says a lot about maybe the structure of our society, because you dated a guy and obviously you guys dated for some time, and then you realized that you're not really attracted to that guy, not necessarily because of him, but because of your own sexual orientation. And you couldn't tell the guy that, and that guy might have been devastated because he thought there was something, of a shortcoming on his part.
Small. Anyways.
FYI, he was the one to dump me.
Oh, ouch!
That might have made it easier.
Probably because you were always looking at girls and checking them out in the relationship.
So that instance made you realize that, okay, I'm not into guys, I'm into girls.
Yes, whenever I think about being with a guy in future, I cannot imagine, I cannot imagine being with a guy in future. Yeah.
Okay, so then you were very clear on what you wanted, right? After that, how did you go about it? Because just thinking about it generally, it must have been difficult for you to, approach girls or date them. So let's start with approaching girls now. So guys are eliminated from the picture. Sorry, Sawak. What happens now?
Approaching the परै जाओस् पहिला त आफूलाई एक्सेप्ट गर्नुमा एकदमै गाह्रो हुन्छ. It's like really hard, but what I did was I went home and I googled it. I searched about everything related with LGBT, and I came to know I was more relaxed after seeing all the videos, YouTube videos, couple videos on YouTube. That's the way. I read so many articles, and that's when I realized that it's not a big deal and it's completely fine to be lesbian. So yeah, after that it comes about approaching girls. I am like fully accepting myself as a lesbian. What I did was that first of all, I went on Facebook and I searched Nepalese lesbians in Nepal. So there was group pop-up by Facebook ma, and what I came to know there was everybody had a fake accounts, and my real account that was not possible for me because people would just easily get it. So what I did was I also made a fake account.
What was the fake account name? No. Please don't say.
It was just Nepalese lesbians of Nepal. So I went there and I met many people like me. I was more comfortable, and after that I started coming out to my friends. And अहिलेको situation here, there are many people who knows about me, except my parents, of course. But yeah, I'm very much comfortable now and a better place right now.
Now, can I ask you, त्यो fake account बनाएर अब तिमीले भन्यो नि, there are so many people making fake accounts, त्यो anonymity राख्नको लागि, कतिजनाले चाहिँ phishing गर्ने चलन हुन्थ्यो, where it's just people who are not gays or lesbians at all, but just want to do it for the pranks, and then फेक अकाउन्टमा त कुरा गऱ्यो होइन सत्याल क्यान टक टु अ स्ट्रेन्ज गर्ल अन फेसबुक टिन्डर हुन्छ नि ग्राइन्डर वाट एभर बट त्यो भेट्ने बेलामा चाहिँ बिकज यु बोथ हेभ बिन रिमेनिङ अनोनिमस त्यो अनोनिमसबाट चाहिँ हाउ डु यु गेट इन टु द्याट
authentic side
to it के
So you just asked about the anonymity. खास के हुन्छ भने first we talk, right? And talk garda what we say is let's exchange our real Facebook IDs. So until and unless you don't do it, we're not going to believe that that person is real bhaner. And what happens there is there are a lot of guys who pretends to be a lesbian and talk to girls. Like a lot of catfishing happening over there.
Okay. So you said you've come out to your friends, but I'm sure stupid people are there in abundance. So what are some stupid questions that people have asked you when they found out that you're lesbian?
This is my favorite one. The most stupid question I asked is, number one is, who's the man in relationship? You know, we're a lesbian couple. That's the whole point. There's no man in relationship. So why are you asking, why are you asking that who's the man in relationship? That's so stupid. And the other thing is I get asked is, one of the guy, he asked me, you're a lesbian, you're into girls. I have a girlfriend and she is bisexual. Can I ask your permission? He asked me and I was like, what? If you guys make out, can I watch? I wouldn't, I questioned back him, would you ask the same question to a straight couple? And he did not say anything. That's the most stupidest question I've ever heard. And the other one is when I came out to one of my friends, not the ones, not in a friend circle, but someone outside the friend circle, and what she asked is, I said him I'm homosexual, and what she said is, don't hit on me. Come on, just because I'm a lesbian doesn't mean I get attracted to every girl I meet. I have so many number of girlfriends. I don't get attracted to them. They're my friends. So, that sort of questions kind of is very stupid.
Yeah, definitely. Silwal is a very handsome guy, so a lot of girls are attracted to him, but he isn't necessarily, reciprocating to every one of them.
You know what I was going to say? I was going to say lesbians are more ethical because केटाहरु बोका हुन्छन्. केटी देख्ने हुँदैन लाइन हान्नु पर्छ. At least you are more ethical where you're not attracted to someone and like, okay, you're not my cup of tea, and then you move on to someone else.
Yeah, absolutely. But you mentioned about now bisexuals. Now they're different from a lesbian because bisexuals are attracted to people from their own gender and also people from opposite gender, right? How is it like, being attracted to somebody who's bisexual now? How is that dynamic like? Because Silwal might have a girlfriend who is attracted to a female. I don't know. What happens then? Silwal will definitely
I was going to say, can I watch?
So Silwal's going to be like, full of insecurity, thinking, am I not enough? What's happening? Because we had this conversation earlier, where we talked about how they probably, a bisexual, if they are with someone from the same gender, they have this tendency to think, why am I not with the opposite gender? It's something that works that way. So has that ever happened to you, where you've been attracted to somebody who's been a bisexual?
Yes, it has always been. I've been attracted always to bisexuals. Yeah, it happens. What happens is, out of feeling of insecurity that you have a competition with a guy as well, not just girls. Because a guy has all the physical abilities that he can perform, which a girl cannot. So on that aspect, I think it's bit very much, it affects me bhanum to aspect myself, because I cannot fulfill what a guy can do to her. Like the physical aspect, for example, lifting heavy stuffs or like doing all those mechanical works and stuff. I think I cannot do that. So त्यो केसमा चाहिँ I feel I get affected त्यो केसमा चाहिँ, just because I'm not worth it भन्ने type of feelings आउँछ when I date bisexuals.
Can I add where I don't know how much this is true because we've not researched on it. अनि मेरो दिमागमा आएको चाहिँ, if there's a bisexual girl, then she can swing both ways, either guys or girls, होइन. But do you think त्यो society को pressure ले गरेर नि that bisexual girl will more likely, lower her expectations towards, gays and lesbians because society के भन्छ भन्ने त्यो fearले गरेर पनि they might not want to open up to you as much as, let's say, someone else who is like openly gay about it and does not swing for the other side. Does that happen to you? And if that happens, what do you feel about? Has that happened to you, first of all? If it does, if it has, then what's your reaction when they say something like that?
कस्तो हुन्छ भने bisexuals, yeah, I personally wouldn't want to date bisexual because even if we date now, there's always possibility that she's gonna marry a guy at the end of the day. And that's always gonna be there, And there are many gays and lesbians who, because of society, they've married and have children as well. And your case ma pani, whenever I talk to someone, Facebook ma host or Tinder ma host, what I do is I ask if you're bisexual, and I ask that ones, are you just experimenting or are you serious about this? Because personally, if I find if I feel that she is just casually looking for dates, I wouldn't want to date her because at the end of the day, she's always gonna choose a man. And that's always the scary part at the back of my head.
That's the fear where you think it's gonna go. So you talked about dates, what happens when you go out on a date with specifically a girl?
Yeah.
Because that's the most interesting part. Because केटा केटी बाटोमा हिँडिरहेको हात समातेर हिँडिरहेको we're more than fine with it. अनि रेस्टुरेन्टमा गएको छ नि कोजी भइरहेछ नि, oh maybe they're couples भन्छ हैन. But what's the dating dynamics?
Yeah, do waiters like stare at you? How does that work?
Do other people stare at you?
Yeah.
Restaurants go down the kitty, we make sure we do not display any fictions as such.
No PDAs.
Yeah, no PDAs. And if you go to a restaurant, I make sure that we go to a restaurant that's not very much crowded. For example, if any of you are, if any of the listeners, if you're lesbians or bisexuals who wants to go out, there's a place called Garden Kitchen in Bauda. That's a very, not so crowded, and we just don't walk around that well. And the funny thing is, the interesting part is, you guys are saying that, it's okay to a girl and a guy to hold hands in public. It's okay, right? But what I tell you is, I can call my girlfriend to my home and have a sleepover.
She's more smarter than Satyal and Silwal, apparently.
Everyone is.
So, your first date, where you've just exchanged numbers, you've just exchanged your real IDs, and the first time भेट्न जाँदाखेरि चाहिँ what's the sort of reaction and intention or expectations that you're holding to that person? Because you said मलाई bisexualsहरूसँग डेट गर्न मन लाग्दैन, you've cleared it out. त्यो भेट्न जाँदाखेरि what's it like? अब त्यो कस्तो हुन्छ के, like I just want to know.
It's the same thing if you happen to meet a girl for the first time after talking. How would you feel? It's the same thing. It's just that I'm a bit concerned about what the people would say. What would I do? Obviously, I wouldn't hold hands in the first date, of course. But I will make sure that हाम्रो जे पनि कुरा भइरहेको छ अरू मान्छेले नसुनोस्. त्यो चाहिँ I always have that in mind because it's still hard for us to talk openly about it.
Okay. If you've listened to the last episode, we talked about having a tight monthly budget, so we have to talk about the bill. Now, when a guy and a girl are dating, the societal construct नै कस्तो भन्दा usually चाहिँ अब केटाले पे गर्नुपर्छ नि त, which is slowly changing right now. But तिम्रो context-मा how does that work? Who pays?
The one who asks out pays the bill. That's the how we go. तर thank God मेरो केसमा there's always been bill dancing. म पे गर्छु हैन, म पे गर्छु भनेर thankfully. But that's the rule we follow. Jostle ask out गरेछ, so that person pays the bill.
केटाहरुको प्रब्लम यही छ, केटीहरुले जहिले ask out गर्छ. That's why you're obliged to pay, not because you're the man, but you asked out. I like that rule where the person who asks out, needs to pay for it.
Okay, maybe some of our listeners have that same sexual orientation and now they're encouraged by listening to us. I don't know. If they had to go out and find people who had similar thought patterns, apart from that Facebook fake profile create गरेर designing group bag, what are the other options that they might have?
It's really hard, त्यो त्यही सर्कलको मान्छेलाई भेट्नु चाहिँ, but I would personally Facebook भन्दा पनि I would prefer Tinder. Right, because it's very privacy एकदम oriented भएको छ त्यहाँनिर. No one would know that you are into girls भनेर. So that would be my personal preference. अरू भनेको it's like through if you are lesbian or bisexual or bi-curious, you can come out to one of your close friends हुन्छ नि, अनि त्यसपछि त्यो कन्ट्याक्ट्स बिल्डअप हुँदै जान्छ वान नोज द अदर द नोज द अनदर त्यो भयो भने चाहिँ आई थिङ्क इट विल बी मोर इजियर फर यु आई थिङ्क अहिले सोसियल मिडियामा चाहिँ त्यस्तो चाहिँ छ आई डोन्ट थिङ्क देयर इज any such thing like that except Tinder. That's my personal preference, so you guys can try it out as well.
Okay.
Satyal definitely is trying out. He's already searching for it on the app. Phone chalan chhodna.
Some of our listeners might be curious as to why, if they've been listening for us for a while, we tend to keep it lighthearted when we have conversations. But your specific topic, because this is something people take very seriously, and it's a very grave atmosphere when they talk about this, but we've kept this very light. Why is that?
कस्तो हुन्छ भने usually through my experiences, the organizations or agencies यहाँतिर they take this LGBT topic in a very serious way. अब झनै सिरियस कुराहरू त you cannot like casually talk about it anywhere हुन्छ नि मान्छेहरूसँग. सो कस्तो हुन्छ भने जति तिमीले लाइट गर्नु खोज्यो त्यति सजिलो हुन्छ टक गर्नलाई. सो if you know someone who's into let's say if you know someone who's homosexual or bisexual, you just go and make it as a very casual thing, not हुन्छ नि ओहो तिमी त यस्तो रहेछौ, I think it's very depressing हुन्छ नि, I think you are going through depression, you don't like it being yourself. It's not like that at all. I'm very happy, I'm lesbian, I'm very happy. I'm yet to come out to my parents, that I will someday, but apart from that, the majority of people knows about me, and I'm keeping this anonymous just because of my parents, because I don't want them to know from a very third source. That's the only reason I'm keeping this anonymous. Aruta, yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Any last message to straight people like Silwal who make fun of other people?
I have a problem with them, with her specifically, because permutation combination garyo bhane ni a gay guy and a straight guy, they are good matches because wingman khatra huncha haina. But
she's a competition.
She's a competition. We cannot be wing people to each other. We'll be eyeing for the same prize.
So any last message for straight people?
Straight people, what I usually hear is majority केटाहरूमा धेरै भइरहन्छ. What if some of the person in their group कसैले अलिकति femininity देखायो भने हुन्छ नि, the way he walks, they're like they joke around saying यो त कस्तो छक्का जस्तो हुन्छ, त्यो कस्तो गे जस्तो हिँडेको. That should not be done. You take it lightly, साथी भनेर गरेको हुन्छ, but you never know त्यो ग्रुपमा who's gay or who's lesbian or who's bisexual. So you should always try not to joke about this LGBT thing, because it's a very sensitive topic in Nepal. So I really suggest you all not to joke about those things.
Okay, buddy. So thank you so much for being on 80 Minutes with Satyal and Silwal. We hope our listeners like this episode, and we'll be back again next Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. And one last thing.
It's never too late to come out.
She says I smell like safety and home. I named both of her eyes forever, and please don't go. I could be your morning sunrise all the time, yeah. This could be good, this could be good, and I can't change